Lieutenant Kayla Miller with Michiana Crime Stoppers is joining us again. It is Monday, and so every Monday we are going to highlight an unsolved case with the hope of bringing some more tips in to get these cases solved. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this every week with us.
Yes, thank you for having us. We appreciate the fact that you are so involved in our community and that you want to do everything you can to help just play your role and get justice where we can. And if nothing else, we are doing everything that we can to bring a highlight to these cases and try to bring some closure to families.
Yeah, I mean, and at least let these families know they're not forgotten. Those cases aren't in the back of our minds, they're still being worked on. And again, as we mentioned last time, when they happen, they're highlighted in the news. Over time, they kind of go away, but I want to make sure that we keep bringing them to light. And I think this one is an interesting case that has a lot of details, and I'd love to dive right into it because it is the Richard Reynolds homicide case. This happened back in 2020, right?
Yes, it did. So December 19th of 2020 is about 1:30 in the afternoon when South Bend police were called to the 400 block of South Falcon Street. And family members had gone to check on Richard. And when they got there to his home, they found that he was deceased. At the time, Richard was 61. Officers then did their preliminary investigation and found that Richard had trauma to the upper part of his body and ultimately was ruled to be a homicide, and Metro Homicide began the investigation. As we know, Metro Homicide is no longer in business, and on January 1st of 2022, this case was turned over to the South Bend Police Department Violent Crimes Unit, and they've asked Crime Stoppers to kind of help shed some light on this case, and hopefully we can generate some new leads.
Yeah, I mean, December 19th, 2020, it's been some time since this happened. When we talk about homicides, I naturally think a shooting was involved, but that's not this case. A shooting did not happen here.
No, again, it's trauma, but it's not from a gunshot. I think it's natural for us. It seems like in this day and age that we are seeing more shootings, more shots fired, those kinds of things. And the thing with shootings is while those are generally targeted, it's someone knows something. The problem is that those bullets don't have names, and so we see lots of unintended targets when we talk about shootings and homicides that are with gunfire. This case is very different. This is an up close and personal type of case. Richard was at his home. There's no signs of forced entry. And so that's one of those where it's, again, he was inside his home. So someone came inside his house, for lack of better words, attacked him, or there was some sort of altercation. And Richard was, again, very close to assailant. And so it's much different than what we see when we see the shootings and the fatal homicides.
And we were talking offline a little bit, and when you have cases like this, it doesn't seem to indicate this is some random person, right? So it's not like we're worried that there's someone out here doing this. It seems to be connected or intimate in some way, right?
Right. One of those things we look at is there forced entry to the home? Is this something where it was a crime of opportunity? We don't see that. So to us, it leads the investigation to someone that Richard knew, whether it's a loose no or a very close no. Still, it's not complete stranger.
That's going to make it really difficult too, because a lot of these shootings, there are multiple people, at least at the scene, who you could have interview. In this case, it almost seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like there may not be just that random call out for tips available here, because it seems like there were just at least two people there. So the hope is maybe that they talked about it with someone, or someone heard after the fact. Is that kind of how these usually work?
Well, so we don't know those details. And we don't know all the details that are leading up to this event, right? So was there an argument? Was there some sort of activity that took place where maybe someone driving through the neighborhood or neighbors, they heard something? So
Yeah.
there's that element as well as the, was there one person there? Was there 5 people there?
Right.
Those are the things that, while maybe there was one person, maybe there was more than one person, maybe there was
Okay.
multiple people, and multiple people have shared it with multiple people. Again, this is one of those where it's a neighborhood where people are there. There's houses nearby. It's not like it's in the middle of nowhere where there's no witnesses or nobody to hear anything. I think that it's really important that we dig deep in our souls and find, that like, hey, did I hear something that maybe could be important? Did I hear a car speeding away? Did I hear an argument? Those are all those little puzzle pieces that we talked about last time that we need as investigators to be able to put this puzzle together and answer questions. And Richard was 61 when he was killed. So that's another thing that, we were talking about of, we see a lot of younger, young adults,
Right.
and Richard was a little bit older. In fact, he actually would have been 63 on April 25th. So he has a birthday coming
Wow.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to kind of go into, I love that you always do this is not only do you talk about what happened, but you dive into kind of who these individuals were. So can you tell me a little bit about kind of Richard, who his family explains him to be, anything like that?
Yes. So I had the opportunity to talk with Richard's sister, and she described him as a family man. He was funny, lovable, loved to barbecue. She said he was actually getting really good. So, he had, of course, his sister who had been talking to, daughter and 4 grandchildren. Something, again, very tragic to the story is that the day that Richard was found, what his grandson was also shot non-fatally, in Indianapolis. And so he had gotten that news and was very upset,
Oh,
was trying to make those decisions of, does he go to Indianapolis to be with family? Does he wait? And then this happens. And so his family, the Reynolds family, has just gone through so much tragedy. His cousin had passed away the Monday prior to this.
wow.
And Richard was trying to help help the family with those arrangements and things. And so there's just so much tragedy surrounding this, and just so much hurt and pain. And the littlest detail could be what we're looking for to be able to bring some closure and just some peace for the family.
And as we always mention, calling Michiana Crime Stoppers, you can remain anonymous. So I'm going to pull something up on the screen where you can see all the different ways that you can contact Michiana Crime Stoppers. Of course, the number 574-288-STOP and 800-342-STOP. We talk about how easy it is to do it on your phone, to do it through Facebook, just so many ways for people to speak out without fear that police or law enforcement or anybody is going to know who they are. And when you hear these facts about who Richard is and his family, we can all relate, right? Father, son, sister, brother, like these are, no matter what happened surrounding this or who they were or what you knew about them, this is still someone's child, someone's friend, someone's family member, and they deserve answers and they deserve some closure here.
They do. And I know that South Bend Violent Crimes Unit is doing everything they can to try and dig into this case, pick up where it was left off, and see what kind of leads can be generated, because we don't want them forgotten, and they're not. And so I think it's really important that, again, as a community, we're helping as much as we can. You talked about the anonymity with Crime Stoppers, and that is from start to finish. Nobody is going to know that you have provided information to Crime Stoppers unless you tell them.
Right.
And so I think it's just really important to emphasize that and make sure that our community knows when we say it's anonymous, it really is anonymous.
Okay, so some basic case facts, correct me if I get any of these wrong. December 19, 2020, around 1:30 p.m. This happened. 400 block of South Falcon Street in South Bend. Richard Reynolds, 61, found deceased by family, seen trauma to the upper body. That's when MHU was called. The homicide investigation obviously started. South Bend has since taken over the case. And of course, anybody that knows anything, no matter how small, no matter how big, please call Michiana Crime Stoppers.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Well, we're thinking about Richard Reynolds' family right now as they continue to have hope, as all these families do, to at least get some answers. I do want to talk about this upcoming shredding event that you guys have, because it's so important to what you do and to collect these tips, but also give out rewards. So what do people need to know if they want to support you?
Yes, so Saturday, April 30th, we will be having our spring shredding event. And as a reminder, it's a new location. So we're actually at the St. Joseph County Fairgrounds. We'll have everyone enter through gate 7. We'll be able to unload your documents. It's still a drive-through, so no worries. You still drive through that line. We'll do all the heavy lifting. Your documents will be shredded, and then you'll be on your way out gate 4, and it'll be super simple. We ask for a $10 minimum donation. Again, this is our biggest fundraiser, and we have to raise these funds to be able to pay out the rewards. When we talk about our program and the success that we've had, we've been around since 1983. And since then we've paid out over $1.1 million in rewards. So we have to raise all those funds. And in order to keep being able to pay our tipsters and helping police with these cases, we need the community's help on this end as well. And it's a great way to help protect yourself. You're taking care of all of your personal documents. You're helping fight that war against identity theft and protecting yourself. And so it's a win-win for everyone.
I'm happy that you actually mentioned rewards, because I think people always are curious. So if your tip leads to the solving of this case that we had just discussed, you're going to get a reward for it. Are we up to that $2,500 with this case as well because of a homicide?
Yes. So if your tip leads to the solving or an arrest in this case, because it is a homicide investigation, you can receive up to $2,500 in a reward.
Wow. Well, again, as always, I appreciate you jumping on here and bringing these cases to light. Is there anything else that we're missing about this case, or just Michiana Crime Stoppers in general, that you want to add?
I think I just want to make sure that folks know you can call us 24/7. So if we have somebody in the office until 3:30 in the afternoon, but after that, doesn't matter if it's on Easter, doesn't matter if it's on Christmas, regardless of the day and time, there's always someone that will pick up the phone if you call. You will have to let it ring at least twice, and then the call center will take care of that. So we do have an actual person answering the phones 24/7. But if you feel more comfortable doing it right from your phone, you can submit those tips right from your smartphone or computer as well.
And of course, you can add any pictures or anything to that through the app, which is really great too. So,
Yes.
well, Lieutenant Kayla Miller, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.